Hi, it's Darren from Martin Deerline. Today we're going to talk about the concave adjustment motor and shear bolts on the non-active concave combines, and that'd be whether it be an S or an STS series combine. We have this shear bolt system. So what happens on here is when you take in a nasty wad, you can shear the bolts which are here in the sector, and then of course the concave will fall down to the bed as low as the bed augers. A couple of things I'd like to point out on that: when you shear these bolts, what happens is the concaves drop and these rods come down against the Z-bar here, and it bends these rods. That's what bends these rods. They do not bend from thrashing, they bend when you shear the concave bolts. So that's something to always have a look after you've sheared your concave bolts, and make sure that these rods are straight. They have changed from earlier 50 series STS combines. They've gone a little bigger in diameter, but anyhow, that's what shears, or what bends them, is when you shear the concave bolts. The other thing we're doing on here, there was some change ups on these motors. You'll notice that this motor mount here is of metal. Some of the earlier ones were of plastic and they would bust. That's an automatic update when you get a new motor going to the stronger reinforced motor. The shear bolts, the extra shear bolts, are hanging down here. What we are doing now is, the original shear bolts are just a smaller metric bolt. We are going to 5/16 grade 5 bolts here for shear bolts in here, because after you shear this a few times, those bolts seem to shear easier and easier. So what we're doing is, when you roll this in, we're actually right here from the deck. It's quick to do. You get yourself a 5/16 bit and you drill these holes out and go to the higher grade bolt. It's a grade 5 5/16. That will help you eliminate a lot of the shearing of those bolts, and yet it still is strong enough or weak enough for protection if you were to take something nasty into the combine. Then after that, of course, you'd go through all your normal things of concave clearance, calibration, and that which you walk through on the monitor. So that in a nutshell is the concave shear bolt system on the STS and S series combines.